change doesn't happen quickly. And I coined something many, many years ago called the Ascension Crash Syndrome. And what is that exactly? Any of you viewers and listeners who have gone to personal development workshops, I have been to thousands of tens of thousands of hours in that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. However, if it's not followed after a long weekend of like-minded, like-hearted people all feeling the same mojo, the same frequency, and there is something very powerful about that. But how many times have you gone back to your life and then all of a sudden what you ascended, the ascension, crashed? Not only just where you were at that baseline before you even went, but lower. That's the Ascension Crash Syndrome. So the recalibration is poised at 12 months because that is the amount of time that sticks. New behavior, new pattern, new perspective doesn't go back to an old lens. It stays at its new lens and it's fixed into place.
Yeah.
And that's very, very powerful, right?
Yeah, and it's also time for integration. When you come back from like a ayahuasca ceremony, or you come back from a big workshop, breathwork workshop or something over the weekend that was very, very incredible, obviously powerful. I mean, they're amazing, but one of the biggest things that I find gets missed in the self-development world is the integration period. And I know I've met a lot of people that when I hear about how much self-development work they've done, but then I'm speaking to them and I'm feeling like there's still quite a lot maybe that they need to work through. I really wonder and I question, not in a judgmental way, because my gosh, that's I completely understand. However, I have to ask, I'm like, have you integrated? Have you, like, I know you've done all of these things, but what have
Right.
you taken any of that and sat with it and then
Right.
really try to like actually tangibly like dissect it and then live it, bring it into your life in a practical way. What does that look like? Well, you can't know what that looks like until you actually integrate these learnings and teachings, and that takes time. It takes time, and that's why a once a month, but then for 12 months consecutively, all of a sudden creates this space, but also consistency and a pattern of once a month. I got to check in with my group once a month. I got to recalibrate once a month. I got to integrate once a month. I got to receive new information that also opens up my neural pathways to new possibilities. But then again, I got to integrate it. So
Right.
it's a perfect, I think, amount of space that you
Right.
give people, but then there's also consistency, and that consistency is also really important too.
Yeah, that's great, Chris. Thanks for that insight.
Well, it helps
Well,
when I've been in
I'm
it.
sorry.
It helps when I've been recalibrated myself. So
Yeah. Well, I've been recalibrated every time I've facilitated a
yeah,
group, which has been a lot.
right.
It really has excelled my own personal and professional growth. It has excelled knowledge into wisdom for me. And the integration piece is so key. It's the aspect of business. Okay, we could and I don't know why I have this visual that the same thing about business. It's leaders can be good until they do or don't um, integrate that information or integrate their leadership skills or be able to move forward in the direction that they're bringing an organization. And if you can look at that and look at what your life is, I mean, and I'm just going to call myself out. I'm definitely someone who has great aspirations and great expectations of myself. And I've got, you can see the whiteboard behind me. I've got three other ones that look just like this. I mean, I'm constantly whiteboarding. I have all these ideas. I'm constantly doing tons of different things. Do I do everything and do I follow through with everything? No, because I do believe that there's timing. But the integration piece is what changes. It puts what is emotional into actual. And that's what I think the recalibration does. Is it's the, you put your shower on and the shower is cool, warm, and you want it to be hot. Well, you've got to turn it a little bit more. You got to turn that dial. And that part of the process, it happens over the course of, I would say, like the first two. By the third month, boom, something happens. And everybody is kind of like, oh, wow, I'm trying something on. They're trying on a new version of themselves in a way that they've never done before. And here's what's so awesome. You've got other people around going, I got a space for you. I'm holding space for you. You're doing amazing. I get what you're going through. I've had the same experience, or I had a relationship like that, or my mother was like that when she was alive. I mean, anything you can imagine, everybody holds space for everybody in that group. And there is something so beautiful and so profound in a time in which we need so much to find community and groups together, that this is something that, like Chris said, his is lifelong. And, my circle of friends has increased tenfold because there's some of the most amazing people that I've ever had gone through this program, that I have also learned from and grown. And so anyway, I'm thrilled to be able to offer it to the public. There's limited space for sure, because I think I'm only going to be launching 2 cohorts. So if this calls you now, great. If it doesn't call you, save the link. We'll talk about it in the future. We'll have links in the future. But once a quarter, once every 2 months, I'll start a new cohort. But if you're interested and you want to do something now, love to have you.